Hey guys, welcome back to another episode or routine. Today's going to be a little bit different. I woke up this morning with a little bit of a headache. It's kind of on the wrong side of the bed, and my body is just super tight and feels like I need to move. And so this little routine is going to be very unstructured. I'm just going to honestly go with the flow, listen to my body, and give my body whatever I think it needs for today. I've been sitting a lot. I've been learning how to edit these videos, and my legs are a little bit sore from the leg workout that I did a couple days ago. I'm sure your guys' are as well. So feel free to follow along. This is kind of how I sometimes run my mobility and stretch classes, very unstructured, with a little bit of a focus today on the legs, but we'll just kind of go with the flow and see what comes to mind. So join in and follow along. I'm just going to start with some moving into the upper body, get my body kind of flowing a little bit, swinging the arms. Again, just kind of whatever comes to mind. We tend to get sometimes like hyper focused on what is the routine or what is the stretch sequence that we should be doing, and it really doesn't matter. And learning to get into that sort of mindset of just letting the body move and give it what it wants sometimes is important. Again, just kind of letting the body shake out a little bit, get the arms moving. Let's start with some movements through the neck. Nice, slow movements through the neck. So the traps are super tight, I'm noticing, along with most of our traps these days with the amount that we sit. Okay, come join. My cat's like roaming around the house, side to side on these little stretches through the traps, guys, in the neck area. Just dropping the ear over to the shoulder. So as I kind of listen to my body and just go with the flow, I'll try and speak as much out loud as possible and guide you guys through what I'm feeling. Forwards and back. Just kind of putting the hands on the back of the head for the extra little stretch. You're going to drop your head behind your back and just stretching all the neck muscles. And we're going to let it flow back and forth. So I had a headache this morning. I don't know if it's a lack of water, a lack of sleep, or maybe just super tight in the neck and the head area, which is often the case. We're going to do some arm circles, nice and slow. Try not to arch your back, just lift up nice and high. Give the triceps a little bit of a stretch here. And now, side to side, switch arms. Back and forth. Add a little side bend into the mix, that feels good. Good, guys, we're gonna move the hips, hands on the hips, and just moving. We're gonna start to kind of work our way down from head to toe. So I'm actually going to take some time to go through a full routine for what my body needs, but even just like 5 to 10 minutes, little movement routines, guys, can go a long way throughout the day if you're doing a lot of sitting or maybe just not a lot of exercise in general, depending on where you're at. Listening and learning to listen to your body is just so important, and it took me many years to kind of find that approach. I'm going to cross the leg, and in the front leg I'm going to bend it, and in the back leg I'm going to keep it straight. I'm just going to reach over into that little side bend. So I did some obliques earlier this week. Switching sides, I'm feeling those obliques. Again, front leg is going to be bent. Drop your bicep onto your ear and just reach over to the side. It feels good. So we're going to take a nice big wide stance, and we're going to go into trunk circles. Coming to the side, and then, oh my, hamstrings. I feel those hamstrings big time from our leg workout we did the other day. Some of us did it yesterday. Some of us might be still doing it this morning. Whew. Staying in the same direction, just kind of letting the hips flow, rotating the hips to the around to the back, to the side, and switching angles or switching sides, dropping to the side. Take your time, nice big circles through the trunk of the body. Feels great. I'm going to take my hands up as tall as I can. I'm going to twist as tall as I can, and then just reach as far as I can to the side. Hands up again, and switching sides. It's not about coming to the ground on this exercise. I'm just trying to stretch out the body and just reaching tall through the upper back, mid back, and into that lower back. Feeling a little bit of a hamstring. Maybe wake up, I guess you could call it. And then same thing coming forwards. Sit the bum way back, guys. And just hang out for half a second in the bottom of this. Good morning. Good work. And we're going to put the hands on the hips and just hang out. Drop as far as you can. You want to put your hands on the ground and just hang out at the bottom. Couple gentle bounces at the bottom here, and just come over to the side and to the other side. Switching sides back and forth and reaching that arm overhead as you do so. Good. We're going to place the hands on the ground nice and flat, and then press away from the ground, and then just reach up into the sky. Twisting through the upper back, guys. Just getting the upper back moving. And breathing as you do this. Breathing in and out. One more. Good stuff. And we're going to come into a squat. Bring your feet in nice and close together and just kind of hang out whatever is comfortable in the bottom of your squat. And then you're going to sit your bum up into the air and just hang out back into squat. Bum up into the air. A couple bounces in your pike position and back into squat. We'll add some bouncing into this movement. And then bouncing back into pike. Back and forth. Good stuff. We're We're gonna hang out. You're gonna drop your armpit into your right knee and then drop over and just open up that knee. Some movement through the hip. And then switching sides. Again, drop the armpit to the left knee. Take your right arm and push open that knee, opening up the hip in and out. Kind of working our way from head to toe. We're going to drop the feet under, come onto the top of your feet, keep your heels together, and just kind of feeling what that looks like in the shins, the front side of the leg. Maybe some gentle movements through the ankles. We're going to reach around overhead, bring the other hand to the ground behind you, and just try and lead the movement through opening up the hips here. And then switching sides, reach the hand behind and then the other arm overhead. Back and forth. If you want to bring your hand to your heel behind you, that's going to help you get up a little bit higher. Still feeling the core muscles and the obliques into the hips. Protect your lower back here, guys. You want to squeeze your bum. Good stuff. And I'm going to come into a camel. So what that looks like. Easy version is curling the toes under and then opening up the hips. Again, protect your lower back, squeeze your bum as hard as you can. You can squeeze your core muscles and let the shoulders roll off the chest. And I can do some bounces here back and forth. I'm going to try and pull the shoulders away from the ears. And if you can, the harder version would be coming down a little bit lower, pointing the toes out onto the ground. Feels great. Good stuff, guys. We're going to sit onto the bum, bring the hands up in front of you. And just check in. How does the upper back feel today? Bouncing back and forth. Through the shoulders, side to side. You're going to take your one hand out to the side, overhead, other hand on top, and stretch out the lat. You're stretching out that lateral line of the body. Switching sides. Stretching out that lateral line, bring the armpit through to the ground. Good stuff. We're going to hang out on the ground, on the belly. You're going to brace your core and just lift up into this little active cobra. Feel the upper back muscles, roll the shoulders off the chest. Do some head circles through the neck. Some nice big, slow, big circles. Stretch out those scaly muscles in the sides of the neck. Those muscles are extremely tight on me. Too much planche work, bro. And we're gonna engage those upper back muscles. Again, one more time, drop to the ground. Lift the shoulders back towards the hips. Nice big proud chest. And we're going to lift through the hands. Again, all this sitting work we're doing, those shoulders are rounding forwards. I've been sitting on a computer for 7-8 hours a day. I want to wake up these upper back muscles. We're going to drop, again, one more time actually. And lift and try and pull the thumbs past the ribs. the lower ribs without letting those shoulders roll forwards. Engaging those mid-back, upper back muscles. Nice and slow, ease into the upper dog. Squeeze your bum. We're just kind of stretching through the lower abdominals. And then one more time, we're going to press up a little taller. Pull the belly button forwards by trying to pull the hands towards the hips. Little side bend. Let's come to the side here. Drop your hand in front a little further. Reach over with your hips. We're going to press up through the ground. You're going to feel this maybe in the lower back, in the oblique, into the hip area. And again, switching sides, that feels great. We'll get into some lower body work here in a minute. Good stuff. We're gonna sit back onto the mat, hang out, bring your feet together, grab your toes or your feet with your hands, and we're gonna lift open the chest and just kind of bouncing through the knees. Take a nice big breath. Feels good. And we can rock back and forth. We're going to come into it 90-90. So we're going to keep the knees and the hips all in a 90 degrees. So we have 90 degrees here, 90 here, and 90 here. And I'm just going to put my left hand on my right knee and right hand behind the back and just kind of twist over. Take my right hand and put it on my right knee, and we're twisting the other way, staying in the same position. Okay, one more time. And again, switching right hand to the right leg. And trying to keep that chest up nice and tall. We're going to switch sides. Take your right hand and put it on your left knee, left hand behind the back, and just twist through the upper back, or mid-back, upper back. Good, and hand on the knee, left hand on the left knee. Reach the right hand behind you, press the knee into the ground, and just kind of stretch into the lower back again. Good, we're gonna hang out here, both hands on the ground, and trying to lead this movement through the belly button. If this is an uncomfortable position for you, sometimes you can put a block underneath your hips, hands at the knees, and we're just going to do some rocking back and forth. Again, it's not about coming all the way down to the ground. I'm trying to lead through my belly button, and that's gonna kind of give me a little extra stretch into the hip, into this external rotation position on the hip. Good stuff. We're going to switch sides. Back to the right side, 90 degrees in both knees and in the hip. Okay, and then pressing into the ground with both hands, chest up nice and tall, and then gentle circles back and forth. Just kind of checking in, how does my body feel here today? what's going on in those hips. Is there pain or clicking? And we're going to switch sides again. This time we're going to come back and forth, or forwards and back, up and down. Hang out, and just kind of doing some pulsing forwards and back. And switch sides. There's a lot of different things that we can do here. For now, I just want to kind of take it easy. We could get into some active work where we start to kind of use all of these muscles, but for now, I'm just kind of trying to relax a little bit. Bouncing back and forth. Good stuff. We're gonna bring one leg behind and try and sit into this half pancake position. You're gonna stick your bum out, and I'm gonna just kind of do some circles here. Hamstrings are super tight, glutes are tight. Not tight, not just tight and sore. I'm sure many of you are feeling that if you followed this lower body workout. And then reaching overhead, you're going to take your right arm to your left knee, drop your arm overhead. That's going to give two stretches, in the oblique and into the hamstring. Bouncing back and forth. Good stuff. And we're going to switch sides. Bring the leg behind you, heel to the bum. And then again, try and sit up nice and tall. So again, if I'm sitting like this, it's no good. I want to prop my bum up a little bit so that belly button isn't caved under. We're trying to get that belly button forwards. And one day we'll get that pancake all the way down. So we'll start with some circles. And then reaching to the knee, reaching overhead on the other arm, hang out at the bottom. And again, noticing the difference from side to side. Is this side for some reason more mobile? Is there less tension? I actually feel like I'm not as aligned on this side, so I'm not getting the right stretch as much in the oblique. I want to try and really reach under with my other arm. Super mobile on this side compared to the other side. Bouncing back and forth. Good stuff. And let's give the hamstrings a little love. We're going to bring the feet together. I'm going to show you on the side angle here. Feet together, toes up to the sky, and just try and lead the movement with your belly button as opposed to rounding the lower back. Grab your shins. And we can kind of just walk back and forth with the hips and toward the bum. Grab your shins and still trying to lead through the movement with your belly button. So I'm trying to keep a nice big proud chest. I'm going to grab the toes. And that's just going to deepen the extra tension on the hamstrings and the calves through the posterior chain. And then grab your ankles and just hang out at the bottom. Feels great in the upper back of the neck if you drop your chin right to your chest. Take a couple big breaths here at the bottom, guys. Sit up nice and tall, hands behind their back, and just twisting into this movement again. Switching sides. Good, we're going to cross the right leg over the left side. Bring the heel up as far as you can. Take your left arm or your elbow behind your right knee and twisting into that hip again. You're going to press, you're trying to pull that knee to the chest by pressing through the elbow, and that's just going to kind of get a little stretch through maybe the lower back and the glutes, down the IT band. And switching sides. Make sure you're breathing into these stretches, by the way. Good stuff. I got 3 more stretches on my mind. I'm going to go into a single leg quad stretch. And this time I'm really going to try and get that hip open by squeezing my bum. And I'm going to drop down. I'm going to take my left arm way overhead and reach to the side. This is going to stretch open the hips, hip flexors a little bit by doing so, and then into the quad. Take a big breath. We'll go for another 10 seconds. And we're going to switch sides. Again, keep that glute nice and strong and active, guys. Opening up the hip and then reaching around back. Drop your elbow to the ground. Take a couple big breaths. Keep that glute nice and strong, kind of stretching into that hip. Pancake needs work as well. We'll have to save that one for another day. I got 2 more stretches for you. We're gonna hang out. I'm gonna go into a chest opener. Okay, 90 degrees in the elbows, so I don't want to be cranking on the elbow and then letting the shoulder rise to the ear. I want to pull the shoulder to the hip and then reach away with that elbow, drop the ear to the ground, and then take your other hand as a prop to prop your chest up, and then kick that leg behind you. Rest your ear. You're trying to increase range of motion from your chest and your shoulder. Trying to stretch the chest muscles. And switching sides again, 90 degrees in the elbow. Reach away from you, kick that leg behind. And then we're trying to stretch open the chest muscles here, guys. Again, if you've been sitting a lot, it's very easy for those shoulders to become rounded, or even just standing and walking without a proper posture. Those chest muscles tighten up. Just kind of hang out, kick that leg behind you. One more big breath. Great stuff. And the last one I'm going to do, I'm going to go walk myself through a couple of bridge push-ups. I'm going to give you a variation first, and then you can choose what works for you. So hang out, lock your fingers out behind the head, and you're going to open up your chest by trying to push your elbows into the ground. Keep the core tight, glutes engaged, and then lifting on top of the head. Okay, so again, I'm on my upper back, shoulders, and I'm going to try and lift on top of my head. Some of us are going to be tight. We want to just hang out here and maybe get a half a rep. That's totally fine. Lifting as high as you can. All right, so that would be one of the easier bridge versions. We'll do another bridge sequence another day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place my hand on top of the ground beside my ear, both hands reposition, okay, squeezing these muscles. I'm going to go for 5 bridge push-ups. Keep those elbows in nice and tight. Turn the pinkies out. That's 1. 2, squeeze the bum, protect the lower backs. 3, and it's not about as high as you can go. Even if you're just lifting off the ground, guys, that's totally fine. 4, and 5. Whoa. I'm gonna hang up, give myself a little candle stretch, lift my feet up, put my hands on my hips, and when I dip, you dip, we dip. Anyone get that reference? Hang out, drop the hips to the side, and just kind of stretching into the upper back a little bit. Maybe into the hamstrings, lower back. And I'm gonna do one more round of bridge push-ups just because it feels awesome, guys. If it doesn't feel good, you're doing maybe something is tight, might not be engaging all the right muscles. We'll save the bridge sequence for another day. Okay, 5 reps, here we go. And 1, or 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish with a little candle stretch to finish off. This time I'm gonna bring my toes back behind me onto the ground. Take a big breath, and then slowly, as I'm comfortable, drop my knees towards my ears. All right, so that's it, that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that workout. And again, invite the family, invite the friends. This is a routine that anybody can do. And the moral of the story is just listen to your body during these times and keep moving. And it's okay to not have a sequence or structured flow. Just go with the flow and love the body.